Alright, I'm getting real sick and tired of making these stupid videos. You'll never guess where I'm heading home from. If you guess the dentist, you'd be wrong. But if you guess the hospital again, you win nothing but good job. Deductive reasoning. I'm heading back from the hospital again. The ER again. This time I didn't ride in an ambulance, though. I went of my own volition after the fact. I did call 911, though. Because, and I'm getting to the point, man, where it's like I'm gonna not call them because I feel like, well, I don't want to bother them. I keep calling them. I'm gonna get to that point, then something really bad's gonna happen. So, oh wait, I'm not turning there, dumbass. I called 911 because my heart went so out of rhythm that I didn't think I was having a heart attack or something. I just thought, well, this isn't good, because I'm not going to go into all the details, but if you guys have been following along this stupid health journey, you'll know that I've had palpitations, and I get palpitations and stuff like that. And oftentimes when I get like the bad ones, where it's not just like the ones that wake me up when I'm falling asleep, just the dit for like 10 seconds. It's the ones where it's my heart gets out of rhythm, where it shoots up and just goes for like 30 seconds to a minute while I'm doing strenuous activity. And when that happens, again, usually it's only about 30 seconds to a minute. It definitely wasn't this time, so I got scared because it went 160 BPM for 8 minutes. 8 whole minutes. It went into 160 BPM. And the whole time, I wasn't out of breath. I was coherent. I could see. I had no numbness. I had no chest pain. I was just a little bit shaky because of the blood, I guess, being shot all around my body and being scared, so I was getting shaky. And my heart just literally was just going for 8 straight minutes. After minute 2, I was like, okay, this is different. This is going way longer. So I laid down and I just kind of sat there like, okay, you can stop at any time. Not like stop, die. No, but you can just like go back to normal at any time. And it just wasn't doing it. So I went, okay. So I sat up because I was able to walk around and stuff, and I called 911 just to be like, hey, so this is happening. I just want to make sure that if I do go into cardiac arrest, somebody's already on the way, because it's not stopping. So they sent out paramedic. They sent out the fire department first to get to me until the ambulance got there to make sure I was good. So I walked up to the front door, sitting on the phone with dispatch, opened the door, waved them down. The second they pulled into the driveway, it went back to normal. Like, are you fucking kidding me? If you were gonna go, I would want you to keep going while they pulled out the EKG so they could see what it was doing. But no, dude, it stopped the second they pulled into the driveway. I know what you're thinking. It wasn't like my anxiety making it. I've had these palpitations before, and I know what causes them. It's just that this one went on longer. And way longer. 20 times longer. So, as you can see, I'm fine. Like, I'm okay. My neck hurts a little bit from the tension. My throat hurts a little bit from the tension. I'm a little bit lightheaded. Haven't eaten anything since 1 p.m. And the funny thing about it, though, was the first time I had ever called an ambulance for myself, with the colitis situation, there was a guy and a girl who got me in the ambulance, brought me to the hospital. The second time I called when I was at work, the most recent time besides today, was a guy and a girl, different guy and a girl. This time, when the EMTs showed up, it was the first guy and the second girl. And they're just like, hey, like, it's a fucking reunion, hello. This is crazy. And she's just like, hello again. Like, when she first saw me, I went, oh, great. Now you know where I work and where I live. And the other guy I was looking at him like, I know this guy. This is the first guy, but he didn't recognize me at first. Then he went, I think I picked you up too. I went, yeah, you did, with the colitis. Yep. Great. So it was me and her had a nice conversation. Super cute too. She's really cool. We had a funny conversation about it because I was coherent. I was cracking jokes. I was like, yeah, like I'm fine, but like am I at risk now of a stroke? Because did that just fuck something up? Am I like, did this? My biggest concern was, did that event damage my heart in a way, or cut off oxygen to my brain in a weird way, or dislodge something that's gonna give me a stroke? The fucking red and green lights, dude. What could this mean outside of today? So I went to the hospital because they said, do you want to ride with us? I went, I'm okay. I don't feel the pains, whatever. I'm physically, I feel okay, just like shaky and very tired now from that and nervous, but I don't think I need to go to the hospital. And so I signed a thing saying like, all right, I'm choosing to not ride in the ambulance with you, yada, yada, yada. So they head out on their way. I was like, please don't take this the wrong way. I don't ever want to see you again. And they're like, yeah, no, we hear that all the time. And these are our favorite calls because we get to walk out of here smiling instead of, and I was like covered in blood. They're like, yeah. So I let them go, and I just kind of like paced around for a little bit, debating on if I should just go myself. And ultimately I called Dylan to let him know what had just happened. Dylan and Nin. And he said, probably don't go if it's, something that you've known, that you've experienced before. And I'm like, yeah, it was, but also 20 times longer than ever before. And then I called my mom and I let her know. And I called my doctor's office. I called my cardiologist. I was like, hey, I need to make an appointment. And so they put in a note for my cardiologist to get back to me. So ultimately I just decided, you know what? I'm fine. I can drive myself. I'll go just to get my brain to be like, yeah, you're not. Get their opinion, get their fucking validation that like I'm fine. So I go up there and I'm still like lightheaded. I'm tired. I haven't eaten anything since 1 p.m. And I'm sitting in the waiting room. And I sit in the waiting room for 5.5 hours. 5.5 fucking hours. Thank God I was smart enough and I knew I would be waiting in there, not that long. I knew I'd be waiting in there for a while, so I brought a battery bank with me and some headphones so I could at least listen to podcasts while I sat there and slowly suffered. And I was suffering. I was not feeling great in the waiting room. A lot of it was my anxiety just making me feel just like worse, giving me a headache and stuff like that, making me nauseous. But the worst fucking part about it was I had mozzarella sticks today. So my tummy was rumbling with farts. And I was stuck in the waiting room with a bunch of other people right in front of me, somebody sitting right outside the bathroom door, which has no audio deadening. It's a concrete room with no fan, no nothing, just dead noise in there. So I couldn't even like go to the bathroom to like relieve my farts. And I had to hold in my farts so bad, dude, and my stomach kept rumbling, putting it down to my asshole, and then when I wouldn't let it come out, it would suck it back in, which would make a sound. I'm like, I'm not farting, I swear. And every time it would do it, it went on like that for fucking hours. And I had to keep like going outside to try to fart outside. And when I got out there, it's like, hey, you're standing now, you're not sitting in a chair. Why would you fart when you're standing, idiot, fool, moron? You can't fart now. And then, or when I would go out there, someone would be out there on the phone, so I'm like, fuck. Or an ambulance is bringing somebody in, like, fuck. So I just like basically I barely got any kind of fart relief, and that was the worst. It was embarrassing every time my stomach gurgled loudly, trying to get a fart out, but wouldn't come out. And it just fucking sucked. It was embarrassing having to get up all the time to like go into the bathroom to try to see what I could do, go outside to see what I could do. It was just like constant. It just sucked so bad. And I finally get in there, and I was debating on going home, like an hour and a half before I got called in. I was like, I'm going to give it 15 more minutes. Yeah, 15 more minutes. I'm just going to fucking stay. So, because I just couldn't let myself, with my anxiety, I couldn't let myself do it. Because I would be stuck on it all night tonight, all day tomorrow, because I didn't get affirmation that I was okay and I wasn't at risk. So, basically, long and short of it was she's like, so yeah, you've had these episodes, these are things that can happen, like when your heart gets out of rhythm, whether it be from just regular palpitations, a tachycardia event, whatever have you. It wasn't like VST or whatever, she said, if you're not at risk of anything happening, she's like, look at me when I tell you, I'm very confident that you have nothing to worry about in regards of stroke, heart damage, heart, anything like that. The only way you would be at risk is if it was the VST or thing, and then you would know it was that if when you had these episodes, they continued at an elevated heart rate for days on end, then you could be at risk for something like that. But from what we've observed here and everything you're describing to me, no, I don't think you have anything to worry about. And she's like, I'm not a cardiologist, but I do know about these kinds of things, whatever. So that's all I needed, was the assurance that I shouldn't have anything to worry about. I would have liked them to do like a blood sample or something like that, take some blood and test it, but no, we didn't end up doing that because that would have taken another 40 minutes, and by the time I got in there, I didn't think to ask. So I did mention when I got in there to intake that, like, yeah, my throat hurts and all this stuff, and then he gave me a COVID and a strep test, and I thought that was kind of weird. And then I realized like an hour later, oh, he thought I meant like the inside of my throat, like No, dude, I meant like my neck muscles around my throat, because where my pulse is happening in my neck and my throat, that's what hurt. So miscommunication, I didn't realize it till later. Oh, there's an ambulance, hello. Followed by a cop, so it looks like they're heading there too. Goddamn. So that was silly, but hey, I don't have COVID. That's cool. So yeah. Basically, what caused this event, to brush over it real quick, I forgot to take my medication this morning till like 1 p.m. My medication, my metoprolol, had been recently cut in half due to slightly lower blood pressure that my primary care was like, well, we'll just try cutting that down, see if that helps with your lightheadedness or those, lingering feelings from your previous episode. So I went, okay, so cut it down in half. So I've already been taking half the dosage for the past few days, past like roughly a week or so. No, I think it was Friday. Today's Monday. Half the dosage, and then I forgot to take it. I had a little bit more caffeine today because I wasn't going to be that active, and it's my day off. So I was like, yeah, I can have a little bit extra caffeine. But honestly, it wasn't even really any more than I normally have, actually. It was maybe, I didn't even finish the second drink. And the first drink was a Kickstart, which is like 95 milligrams. Then I opened up a sugar-free Monster, which was like 160, and I didn't even get halfway through that before I stopped drinking it. So in reality, I still got less than 200 milligrams, which a day I get around 200. So I got about the same amount as I normally do. But then, yeah, it was pretty calm today, but I went down and skateboarded at the end of the driveway, which gave me a little bit of a heart bump, and I went, ooh, okay, I'm pushing it a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm just going to relax a little. And then Dylan and Nin were out today for a little bit, so I thought, okay, I need to quickly try to record a cover or two. I got 2 minutes into the first song, boom, that's what did it. And usually it is recording covers that trigger, because it's a lack of oxygen, because I'm belting out and inhaling. It's a lack of oxygen, it's a lot of muscles being used, it's a lot of like head muscle, like that compression and stuff like that. It's exhausting. And that usually can cause a quick episode of like maybe 10 seconds of my heart palpitating. Then I slow down, I take it easy, and I usually stop after that. But, so, yeah, that's how it went. Been taking half the medication recently. Forgot to take it till later in the afternoon. Still only took half. And then skateboarding, which is physically demanding. And then doing a vocal cover, which is also demanding in different ways. Triggered it. And yeah, here we are. So I'm tired, I'm starving, I need to get gas. I don't want to get gas, but I'm low fuel, I'm literally on empty, so I need to go spend $10 to get me the next 2 days, because that's all I can afford to do. And I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna look in the mirror and make sure I can still smile with both sides of my face, so I know I'm not having a stroke. I need to keep reciting "The quick fox jumped over the brown fence," or whatever it is that contains every letter of the alphabet. And I'm going to keep trying to do things to make sure I know I'm not having a stroke, but also I need to try to ignore it so I don't get myself fucking bent out of shape thinking about it. I'm so fucking over it, dude. On the bright side, I've been managing my stomach a lot better, and I've had less stomach episodes recently. And I have the second colonoscopy coming up at June 2nd, I think. So, but I haven't had any bad stomach days in a little bit because I've been smart about it. I've been doing well. So if it's not one thing, it's the other. God, dang it. Shucks, shoot. I'm gonna go get gas. So that's an update for you guys.